Some dreams are big. Some dreams are small. Some dream to go from place to place. Dreams of love and ever after. Dreams and sacrifices that builds the future. Whatever the dream or step or journey, you can do more with a partner that cares about your dreams. Access, more than banking.
Welcome back. I'm now being joined by Mallam Garba, Kurfi, the Managing Director of APT Securities and Funds Limited. Mallam, you are welcome.
You are welcome.
You are looking fresh. How have you been responding to the beyond expectation second quarter reports from the quoted companies that are listed on the floor of the NGS?
Yes, some of the companies have really surprised us, and the market equally responded to their surprises. Well, to some, particularly some of the insurance companies, they really disappointed us. But we have seen where the problems are.
Where are the problems? We'll still talk about that too.
Yes, one of their major problems is the bonds. They hold bond, and most of them, they converted it into available for sale, meaning mark to market. And you remember last year, the price rise, some of them to as high as 100%. So they put it there. Instead to cash in, by selling and holding their cash, they decided to hold the bond. And today, most of their prices fall back, and they have to write it back. And these affected some of them substantially. I have seen an insurance company.
Let us look at which one of them.
One of them, they make a provision about 5 billion. I couldn't believe it.
Which one?
I say, what? Is the hallmark. When I saw the provision made, I said, yes, I say this is too much.
Do I still go and invest in that company with this kind of?
No.
What was the real problem with WAPI coronation?
Well, I think the WAPI coronation is a rewarding system.
Because if you look at them, their turnover was very, very good. Fantastic. As a matter of fact, their turnover is better than that of all these small banks. But their profit after tax came low.
Yes, they too also, they were affected by this mark to market. But rewarding is what matters. If you look at it, not only WAPIC, everybody have seen the performance of transport. They have done very well. But when you look at the rewarding, 1 kobo for 2 consecutive years, it doesn't encourage investors to go into it. Remember, most of our investors are retails. It's just the minority shareholders. They are after the cash at hands.
Mallam, let's briefly look at the African stock market. We just gathered this information looking at about 16, 17 markets across the African continent. And we could see in the course of July, only 1 market in Morocco did not gain. Now, comparing some of these markets with that of Nigeria, the market in Zimbabwe, Malawi, Ivory Coast, Egypt, South Africa, Ghana, Uganda, Kenya, they were all better than the Nigerian market in the course of July. Should we begin to look at all those markets technically?
Yes, we have to look at those markets technically, because the truth of the matter that the foreign investors have no demarcation. If you look at our volume of transaction in the last week, we hardly crossed 2 billion. And this to show you that most of the foreign investors are not there, because they look across the world and across Africa and the frontier market. I can tell you precisely, in Africa today, if you look at the negative performance of the all share index, Nigeria is the worst against all the other indices. And these will push most of the foreign investors to go where it matters. Yes, last year we did an excellent job, but this year I still have the confidence that we will repeat what we did last year. Not exactly the same, but Remember, all our performance in the previous year, we did it in the last quarter, and we are just half year. And even in the half year, those that normally come with the playbook are those banks that declare interim dividend, and none of them have declared their result. Our advice, CBN should understand that timing is of essence. Therefore, when the result is released to them, this is a half-year result, they should look at it and release it immediately. I think it will promote the market, because today, over 70% of our listed companies were able to comply by releasing their result on or before 31st July, except those who are awaiting the regulators' approval, particularly the banks and by CBN. And what we are saying, the CBN should look at the timing is of essence, and priority should be given to this company. None of them have released their result, and I believe that if they can do so in this week, that will trigger the market to a higher level.
Now, looking at some of the results from some financial institutions that were released to the market in the course of last week, apparently these ones are not declaring interim dividends, so the CBN has approved the release of their result. Union Bank, sorry, the UNB ought to be UBN, right? Looking at, though, in Union Bank, we could see a decline in turnover, decline in profit, and then but the PE ratio at 15.54, to me, I think that is still relatively high. So I don't think, except that Union Bank is a bride being courted, so to speak, by either Access or Zenith, I don't think there's any attraction in this time.
There is. You see, any bank that is likely going to be taken over by somebody else is a bank to look. We have learned from our experience with Diamond Bank. Any holder of Diamond Bank tend to be better. In other words, the only attraction in Union Bank
the
acquisition
is that,
and therefore, for me, I advise the investors should take position.
Even if if the earnings are declining, as we are seeing.
Yes, notwithstanding, they look at the whole asset. They look at the provision. Union Bank has made provision of over 500 billion. And those who are acquiring it, they are going to pursue those provisions and recover them as quickly as possible. And that will be a blessing to those who decided to acquire that bank.
How I wish we've got a lot of time on this platform this evening. Unfortunately, these are issues we should have dragged. Mallam, Jaiz, do you understand their business structure? This is a non-interest banking, and then this is a non-interest collecting bank, and then their result is not bad at all. How are they generating the money?
Well, you see, the Jaiz, they have just started benefiting from these FGN Sukuk. And don't forget that these FGN Sukuks are running for 7 consecutive years, and they have issued 3. And more are coming.
Sukus is a form of bond.
Yes, what we are saying that Jaiz now, they are just can compete like any other bank. Because before they keep their money yielding 0. Today, they acquire Sukuk, they buy from the market, and every Sukuk income is an additional income to them compared to 0 income. So for them, that is why when I look at the half-year result, they are earning very strong, and I can assure you, this is the bank that will surprise the investors by next year. So
someone should just invest in Jaiz and
yes,
be looking.
you invest because what is it trading? This is a 50 kobo stock trading at just 60 kobo.
Much more, it is a holy stock.
Not only that one, the question is that they are rewarding. For the past 2 consecutive years, they have been paying 3 kobo, which is at least 5%. And I can assure you, with the earning I have noticed for the half year, I have no doubt for me that the minimum I expect for this company to pay next year, maybe to double the dividend.
Sterling Bank released good result. Their PE ratio is 7.79 at half year. Earnings yield 10.94. Sterling Bank, but you are not in it.
Yes, Sterling Bank, their major issue is rewarding. When you look at their group, they are in the group of Fidelity Bank. Look at how much Fidelity Bank. Look at how much FCMB paid. So they have to wake up. You cannot be using your peers and be lagging in paying the dividend. Dividend matters in this market because you are dealing with the retail investors who every kobo count.
Mallam, we come to insurance Q2 earnings. I want us to look at Universal. And I want us to look at it because you know Universal. I know.
Yes.
I know Universal. Aruna knows Universal, but the cameraman does not know Universal. So now, the result for this Q2 came in handy with P ratio 8.69%, earnings yield 11.50, profit margin 17.67%. Can Universal sustain this result?
I believe they can sustain it, and I see them in two categories because they have a twin sister. They are in the twin sister in the life, and the twin sister have a hanging fruit of a pension fund where they control 49% of it. So I am not ruling out the possibility.
Shouldn't they sell their pension fund and pay us dividend?
Well, for me, I want them to merge the two. If they merge the two, the story will be changed completely. Because this capitalization, you capitalize two companies where the major stakeholder is the same, it's better merging the two, and this is general, this is life. By the time they merge it, it will be a different story altogether. So I still have confidence in those two.
Right?
It's very, very likely to happen.
But we are not sure yet.
Yes, we are not sure, but the market cannot rule out that possibility because they still have to meet up their capitalizations.
We've talked about consolidated hallmark, and I'm sure the same thing that affected consolidated hallmark affected mutual benefits, and then affected also coronation in a way, right? But talking about sovereign trust and Veritas, Veritas looks very good with this result.
I have no doubt over Veritas, and the market have started rewarding them. Remember, for years, it was trading at 20 kobo. Now you are talking of 25 kobo. When you look at 5 kobo over 20 kobo, it's 25% increase. I did not rule out this market doubling that price because it happened to others, it can happen to it. Wapik is one of them that benefited. It was trading 30 kobo, now it's moving to 60, 70. So I'm not in doubt that Veritas can move to 50 or thereabout.
ICO2 is not doing badly. The P ratio for this half year is 6.86.
You see, when I go through the result of the ICO, and I have seen the disposal of part of their pension have reflected on them over 2 billion, I believe ICO have something to deliver by the end of the year.
But next year, what are they going to be selling to raise another 2 billion naira?
Look, cash is king.
Should they sell that pension out?
They don't need to sell it because...
But they sold it.
No, they did not.
To FCMB?
Yes, what they did, they just sell part of it.
Okay.
What they did, they still control 40% of it.
All right.
And that 40% of the ICO, which is acquired now in the FCMB pension fund, is going to serve them a leeway because most of the pension
next time they will not be coming to sell again?
No, they will benefit from there because most of the pension fund, they ask for that if you don't want to continue the pension, you can decide to opt. So when you opt, you will go to the insurance who will decide to give you a product that will take you, stab you as a pension fund. So ICO will benefit from that product. And now they are in the bigger basket. Rather than staying with just 130 billion, they are talking of 400 billion managing. I believe they will stand to benefit from there.
We've got about 3 minutes to go on the program. I'm so disappointed in Sian Islands. Even after their reconstruction, the result they brought to the market is not attractive. So double losses.
I believe that they need two facts behind the figures, or they have to call investors to also explain why they are where they are, because we have seen that they have even went and took a bond. Why are they where they are? They have to explain more, because failure to do that, it will make more dumping into that stock. And I see it going further down if they did not explain the situation to the investors.
Julius Berger is so good. Would you advise that someone should buy now?
Well, you see, Julius Berger is a surprising stock. Last year, they paid dividend and bonus. Did not go beyond 26 naira. As I'm talking to you now, it's 24 naira. Remember, it was 18 naira. From 18 naira to 24 naira, it has substantially gained. My advice, long-term investors, yes. Short-term investors, wait. Because I believe that after this, it may come a bit lower and you can take position. But I'm very certain that Julius Berger is likely going to reward the investors either through interim or final dividend in a very good note.
Mallam, Eternal used to be very good, but the result they brought this time around was not good.
Yes, what moved Internal is not only their performance. There is a rumor going to the market that is likely going to acquired by other oil company. And these rumors matters to it. If you remember, it went as high as above 8 naira. And I see it now at 6 naira. It can still go back if they can come to explain to the market that acquisition is likely going to take place.
All right, Mallam, we can continue to talk like this until another 1 hour, but we just have to go down. I want to appreciate your time and the dexterity and your wealth of knowledge that you do not hesitate to share with us on this platform. To round off your final statement, maybe there are things time didn't allow us. Just round off in the split of a second.
In rounding up, I want the investors to watch telecom and
but their prices are high.
Look, forget about the prices high.
And I forget, is it not the money I have?
Look, the question is that they have demonstrated that a telecom, cement industry investors should make sure they are part of it. These two industries control 60% of the market. So if you are not in any of them, you are just playing the 40% of the market, and you shouldn't be in the 40%. You should be part of the 60%, and they matters.
That is how we round off on this platform. Again, time is never enough. You could see the session with Aruna Kibira so short, but every minute, every second spent has been worth it. I want to say a very big thank you to the management of Lagos Television for creating this platform for us to empower and to educate you. I want to say a very big thank you to you also for staying tuned to watch us, particularly those who have been involved in inviting others to this platform.
First Money is Nigeria's biggest and most preferred agent banking network. Thanks to First Money, millions of people are living their dreams. Meet some First Money agents who are driving this.
One Q2'21 from First Bank introduced me to First Money. I forgot searching for jobs.
Ya taimaki mutane sosai wurin matsowa kusa da yanayin banki. Da sai sun tafiya mai nisa kamin su je su samu banki.
Through First Money, over 1 million people across Nigeria have their financial services needs met daily. In all the accessible local government areas, you're bound to find First Money agents. With First Money, we're bringing financial inclusion and the many benefits that come with it. You first. First Bank.